guys, it's the Man Hutchinson channel, and we are going to be doing some reading. And the first book tonight we are going to be reading is called A Bug's Life. If I can, y'all can see that. It's called A Bug's Life. Y'all don't remember this movie? It was a movie. I have the movie somewhere. It says, A Bug's Life, a classic story. There's Dot and Flick. Y'all don't, ouch, y'all don't know. It is. Down under our feet, in among the clover and grass, there's another world. It's a teeny world, but it has mighty tales to tell. Do we have enough food for the offering, Princess Edda asked nervously. Here's Princess Edda. A young ant named Flick rushed up. Look, Princess, he cried, an automatic harvester. Edda glanced at the Queen. Now what? Just pick brain like everyone else, Flick, she said. We don't have time for one of your inventions. But Edda's little sister Dot liked Flick. She thought he was special. Dot always went to Flick with her problems. My mom always says I'm too little to do things, she complained. You won't always be little, Flick pointed out. He showed her a rock. Pretend this is a seed. Give it time and it will be a tree. Just give yourself some time. Dot knew the seed was a rock. You're weird, she replied, but I like you. Suddenly, the alarm sounded. The frightened ants scattered. The Queen took charge and urged everyone into the anthill. What? Quickly, dear, she told Dot. Hey, wait for me! Cried Flick, but his wonderful harvester knocked the legs out from under the offering stone, and the grain the ants had collected rolled off the cliff and disappeared. As the ants trembled in their anthill, the grasshopper gang burst through the ceiling. Where's my food? Hopper demanded, grabbing Dot. If you don't keep your end of the bargain, someone will get hurt. Flick didn't think twice. Leave her alone, he demanded. One sharp look from Hopper silenced Flick. Then Hopper dropped Dot. I want double the order of grain when the last wheat falls, he snarled. Once Hopper left, Edda and the council were ready to banish Flick forever, but Flick had an idea. We could get bigger bugs to fight the grasshoppers, he shouted. I'll go to the city and find them. Surprisingly, Edda and the council accepted his offer, but only to get rid of them. Dot and a couple of ant boys followed Flick to the edge of Ant Island. My dad said you're going to die, one of the boys snarled. He's not going to die, Dot started. He's going to get the best, roughest bugs ever. She waved as Flick sailed away on a dandelion puff. Far from Ant Island, near the city, P.T. Flea had to do something fast. The audience wasn't laughing at his circus. Flaming death! The desperate circus manager announced. The act went all wrong. The circus bugs scrambled around trying to put out the fire, but P.T. ended up barbecued. The audience loved it. P.T. fired all his performers anyway. Oh, give me hope! A little later, Flick arrived in the city. What a place. Surely here he would find bugs rough enough to stand up to Hopper. There's Flick. The circus bugs were sitting in a bug bar, wondering what to do next. All of them needed new jobs. Rosie the spider and her beetles Steed, Dim, Slim, Dim, Steed, Dim, Slim the walking stick, and Heimlich the caterpillar, Tuck and Roll the pillbug acrobats, Francis the ladybug, Manny the mantis magician, and his moth assistant Gypsy. Then some rowdy flies picked a fight with Francis. There are the insects, everybody. When Flick walked in on the fight, the small troop of circus bugs looked like winners. Flick started clapping. "I've been scouting for bugs with your talent," told them. "Could you help my ant colony?" Circus bugs thought he was a talent scout. "Explain on the way there," Slim suggested. "This is too good to be true," Flick said to himself. The next morning, Flick and the circus bugs approached Ant Island. Dot was the first to spot them. "Flick, I knew you could do it," she shouted. There's Flick and the gang. But the other ants were afraid of the big, rough bugs. "We're losing the job," Slim worried. Francis made an announcement. "When your grasshopper friends get here, we're gonna knock them dead," he bragged. There. "So, Princess Etta, what do you think?" Flick asked her. "We're ants. We don't fight grasshoppers," she answered. "No, but they will," he told her, pointing to the circus bugs. The colony gave the circus bugs a welcome banquet. The ant children performed a play about the coming battle with Hopper. "You mean that's us fighting?" Rosie whispered. "Don't watch," Slim warned Heimlich. Rosie tried to get Flick's attention, but he was busy making a speech. "Flick," Rosie hissed, "we're circus performers." Flick followed the circus bugs away from the banquet. "Circus bugs," he yelled. "You said you were going to knock the grasshoppers dead. You said you were a talent scout," Manny accused. The circus bugs took off, hoping to find a new gig. Flick grabbed Slim. "Don't go," he begged. "They'll call me a loser." The circus bugs were trying to pull Flick away from Slim when Flick suddenly turned and sprinted away, yelling, "Run!" A bird rose up from the grass behind Flick, screaming. All the bugs scrambled to find a place to hide. The screams brought the ants to the cliff. Etta spotted the circus bugs running from the bird. Then she saw her little sister. Dot had followed Flick, and now she was directly in the bird's path. Francis couldn't let Dot be hurt. He caught her, but they both tumbled into a crack in the riverbed. The bird knocked stones into the crack. One stone broke Francis's leg, another knocked him out. Then the bird began pecking at the crack. Flick quickly thought up a plan. Slim held up the tasty-looking Heimlich to distract the bird while the other bugs flew to the rescue. "How brave," one of the council members muttered. As the others placed Francis in Rosie's net, Flick confronted Dot. His plan was working as smoothly as a spider silk. Dim was lifting the rescue party out of the crack when the bird saw them. Good old Dim came through. He zipped into a thorny bush where the bird couldn't follow. Here's Dim. When Flick and the circus bugs heard a strange sound. "What's that?" Heimlich wondered. It was applause. The whole ant colony was cheering wildly for the brave bugs who had saved their precious little Princess Dot. Later, Etta took Flick aside. "When you brought them here, I thought you hired a bunch of clowns," she said. "But they were so brave, not Not every bug would face a bird. Even Hopper's afraid of birds. Flick felt an idea coming on. Flick's plan was simple. Build a bird to scare off Hopper and his gang. He got managed to present the plan to the council, Etta, and the council loved it. The ants and the circus bugs worked together. Little by little, the bird was shaped by leaves and twigs, spider's web, and snail shell. Everyone felt upbeat. The grasshopper's next visit would be very different. Etta was proud to be part of a plan that would defeat the grasshopper. It was all thanks to the warrior bugs and to Flick, who had found them. Finally, ever so carefully, the ants and warrior bugs raised the bird into the tree where it would await Hopper's arrival. A cheer went up. They were ready to rumble. Meanwhile, the grasshopper gang was hanging out south of the border. A couple of Hopper's thugs didn't want to return to Ant Island. They convinced Hopper's brother Molt to present their case to their leader. Hopper was furious. He buried the mutineers under a pile of grain. Then he snarled, "Those ants outnumber us. We can't let them figure that out. We gotta remind them who's boss. Now let's ride." The grasshopper took off for Ant Island. Later that evening, Flick offered the circus bugs a chance to leave before the grasshoppers showed up. "Jim don't want to go," the rhino beetle announced. The others quickly agreed. The circus bug warriors were staying. Suddenly, an ant scout spotted someone approaching, but it wasn't the grasshoppers. It was P.T. Flea. He was looking for his circus bugs. Flick tried to keep the secret, but the ants realized that their brave warriors were circus bugs. Hopper would be there soon, and they had no food. The queen told the circus bugs to go away. Etta told Flick to leave too, but Dot wanted to follow them, but her mother held her back. All too soon, the ants heard the grasshoppers approaching. "Mother," Etta gasped desperately, "what can we do?" Both of them knew that Hopper would be furious. Hopper was furious. "No ant sleeps until we get every scrap of food," he snarled. While Dot was hiding from the grasshoppers, she learned Hopper's real plan. "Work them till they're dead," one of the thugs snarled. "Then we squish the queen." Dot had to get help. Away she went looking for Flick.